Good morning, Vanakkam. It's a paradoxical but profoundly true and an important principle of life that the most likely way to reach a goal is to be aiming not at the goal itself but at some more ambitious goals beyond it. And that is what Akanksha 2012 is all about, transforming into reality the vision and aspirations of many ambitious people, as we believe that the voyage of discovery is not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. I request you to kindly rise for the invocation, please. Thank you. I request all the dignitaries to take their seats on the dais, please. On that note, I welcome the dignitaries, guests, faculty members, students, and well-wishers who have gathered here for the inauguration of Akanksha 2012. It is an event of 2 days which comprises of 3 panel discussions, photo exhibition, industry interface with experts, 2 special guest lectures followed by a cultural evening. I now invite Dr. V. Venkata Rao, Head, Department of Tourism Studies, to welcome the gathering.
So very good morning, one and all. Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, my dear student friends. It is another day in the journey of 20 years of Department of Tourism Studies. Organizing Akanksha is a passion, is a professional commitment of Department of Tourism Studies. This annual event, we call it Industry Institute Interface. This event, department is organizing in the form of arranging a stage on which one side industry personalities and the other side students community. The department is playing the role of stage maker. On this stage, the 2 bodies, one side students and other side industry experts, interface each other, and students especially explore the industrial practices from the industry representatives. Thereby, this event is emerged in due course of time as a brand, and this is creating an image across the country. In fact, now we are very happy and comfortable position, though the industry is with somewhat fluctuation in terms of providing employment. This year also we could place all the students within a short span of time. That is because of industry continuous support, and largely credit goes to the practice of Akanksha. It is rather rapport building and network development exercise. On this occasion, Akanksha 2012 is graced with the presence of great personalities of the industry. Let me take a pleasure and with a happy note, I feel it is a privilege in standing before all of you in welcoming the great personalities of industry and as well as our leaders of university campus. And last 5 years, we have been experiencing the speed and vibrations and ambience that was created by our great academic leader, Professor J.A.K. Tareen. Though he is occupied with several activities in finalizing 12th plan proposals, Sir accepted to grace this occasion. And sir, we welcome you for this function, Akanksha 2012. On the other side, right to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, you can see the tallest personality in the tour operations, who is the founder of Tour Operators Association in India and President, Chairman and Managing Director, STIC Group of Companies, Mr. Subhash Goyal. Sir, as and when we felt that in the department to invite you, I called you immediately, and with no time, you accepted our invitation. We are very, very much thankful to you, and we welcome you for this function. And we have another expert in industry from public sector under Ministry of Railways, IRCTC, Regional Director, he is head of the South India, Mr. Shri. And sir, you helped us a lot in placing our students, and we are thanking on this occasion. At the same time, we welcome you for this Akanksha function. Another great person on the dais, Professor Ramdass sir, who is always providing continuous support and encouraging whatever that we propose in the department for development and expansion. Sir, thank you very much for accepting and coming over for this function and blessing our students. We welcome you, sir. And I have my colleague and my coordinator, students coordinator, and formally I welcome them also for this function. So with this, I welcome all the dignitaries in the hall, especially heads of the department from other departments, Professor Malvika Madam, Professor Chandrasekhar Rao sir, Professor Anjaneya Swami sir, Director, DDE, and we have Professor Ramchandran sir and Professor from Karaikal, Lata Madam, and we are all welcomed, Madam. And then I have the special guests for this event from Ministry of Culture, Yamini Muben, having a lot of experience and studied in London School of Economics, doctorated from JNU, and now working with the Ministry of Culture and involved in several the projects, World Bank projects, and developed tourism, especially in Punjab. And we have guests, Vivek Patnaik, retired Joint Secretary from Ministry of Tourism. And sir, we welcome you. And last time also you visited, and your continuous support and encouragement is adding a lot of value for our department. Thank you so much, sir. And we welcome you for this function. And I have our Knowledge Resource Center Head, Librarian, Madam, we welcome you. And then I have industry representatives from Hotel Ashoka and other organizations. And I have another head of the department, Prabhakar Raya, sir, and we welcome you, sir, for this function. Thank you so much for attending the function. So thank you one and all, and I welcome you for this function. Thank you.
Last but not the least, we welcome Dr. V. Venkata Rao, Head Department of Tourism Studies, with a bouquet. As the Chinese proverb goes, it is better to light a candle than cause darkness. Thank you, sir. I now call upon 2012 Akanksha Coordinator, Shri Anu Chandran, Assistant Professor, Department of Tourism Studies, to deliver the scope of Akanksha.
A very good morning to the esteemed guests, resource persons, faculty members, non-teaching staff, students, and media persons. At the outset, let me, in a nutshell, sketch the strides of the flagship program of the Department of Tourism Studies, Akanksha. Akanksha stands for hope. Hope for fulfilling our dreams and aspirations. Hope for achieving success in our professional and academic endeavors. Akanksha has an uncheckered history. As an alumni, I do know about that. It has never stopped. Since the year of inception of tourism program in the university. And during certain years, it was named Shenu. That is the meeting place for industry and institute. And this brand event of tourism studies had been organized in premier cities as earlier in Chennai, Bangalore, and Mumbai. The main objective of Akanksha is to connect the Department of Tourism Studies with the corporate tourism world. And this event serves as a platform for intensive deliberations by industry experts and academicians on topics of contemporary relevance related to tourism, travel, and hospitality. So this event stands out for the creativity and innovation, and undoubtedly provides high exposure to the students too. And Akanksha 12 configures 3 panel discussions and 2 special lectures, that is interface sessions with experts. The first panel discussion that's going to start after lunch at 2:15 p.m. on the theme that is airlines industry in crossroads. Very contemporary theme, keeping in view the time of airline buyouts, pilot strikes, and competition in the skies, retrenchment issues, and a lot of other pervading effects on the airline operations. And the second theme is alternative tourism, trends and opportunities. So that's also scheduled for the day starting at 4 p.m. And we have a special lecture by Dr. Yamini Mubai, Senior Manager, National Culture Fund, Ministry of Culture. That's going to commence after the inaugural session at 12:15. So tomorrow the day is scheduled with a panel discussion on the theme Cost, Competition and Customer in Tourism. And a special lecture by none other than Shri A. Afzal. He is the Chairman and Managing Director of Parveen Travel. So he'll be delivering, it's actually an interface session with the expert. That's named in that way. And this inaugural session will also witness the release of our Yatra magazine, the 4th edition of Yatra magazine, the annual publication of the department, and also a CD on Puducherry tourism that's made by the students of DTS. And this 2-day event is going to end with an exuberant cultural program at the Convention Center Auditorium tomorrow at 6 p.m. And I request all of you to be part of the 2-day Industry Institute Interface event. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to invite our beloved Vice Chancellor, Padma Shri Professor J.A.K. Tareen, to deliver the inaugural address.
A very distinguished guest of the day, Shri Subhash Goyal, Shri V. Shri Ram, Madam Dr. Yani Mubai, my colleagues here, deans, guests from outside, my student friends, scholars, ladies and gentlemen. Akanksha is this is the 5th Akanksha I'm attending. He called it as an event. Probably I thought I will call it a phenomenon. It is bringing a change. It's just not simple projection and marketing, but it has become a phenomenon in the campus that Akanksha is spoken about, talked about, felt. Students of tourism breathe Akanksha. They discuss Akanksha, and its light is radiating across. That is very evident from the fact that all of you are getting 100% placement, all the batches. That itself is a testimony to the fact that you hold certain brand, and you hold certain values, and you hold certain quality. So, first of all, I should congratulate this department and the students, the teachers, the faculty who have kept their traditions alive and have been working hard day in and out to build your brand. School of Management, sir, is the largest school in Pondicherry University with over 1,400 students and over 70 faculty, multiplied 3 times during the last 3 years. And now the projected figure of the School of Management in the next 5 years is 3,000 students minimum in one school. That is normally the strength of any of these universities in India. So even some of the central universities, that the School of Management alone will have 3,000 students and 200 faculty. That's the rate at which the University of Pondicherry University has been growing, striving hard to build a brand for itself. And the brand can come only if each one of you are branded. Each one of our product is branded. We have 5 MBAs in different disciplines, which includes tourism as one of them. We have insurance, banking technology, international business, finance. We have the commerce with specializations in taxation. And we have the economics with programs even integrated as well as this. Another thing I would like to say is that this university has always been number one in the innovations since its inception. It is the first university which introduced this CBCS system, choice-based credit system. The student has a choice to pick up. For the past 2 years, 3 or 4 years, we have brought in more revolutions. If any regulation comes in our way, we have simply scrapped that regulation and bring the new regulation. We fully exploit our autonomy. We never ask for autonomy, we assert our autonomy. That's the only way to work in a government department. Now a student, unlike any university in India, can take 1 degree, a master's degree, and 2 postgraduate diplomas simultaneously within a period of 2 years in this university. We have about 30 add-on diplomas in the evening, which add value to his basic degree. In the 12th plan, we are proposing a few outstanding innovations. These innovations are integrated programs are extended to almost all the disciplines, meaning we want to integrate the undergraduate program along with the postgraduate program as a 5-year integrated program so that the student gets the blessings of the teacher of a university in the atmosphere of a university, in a library of the university and the laboratories of the university rather than in a college outside, so that he comes out as a quality citizen of India. That is one thing. We are introducing a dual degree program, which is once again a first of its kind in India. A student in 3 years will go with 2 master's degree, meaning there are several now, most of the courses are interdisciplinary. There is an overlap of several programs. We want to exploit the mechanisms of dynamics of choice-based credit system and opportunities of the choice-based credit system so that the student which he has studied a certain subjects and obtained a credit, he did not repeat again the same thing he has already studied. We exempt him. So in the process what happens, like somebody can be an MBA. This is a good news for MBA students. You can be an MBA and then go as an MCom, taxation. Just in 3 years, MBA, MCom. MBA, MBA tourism. MCom, MBA. So we have such combinations so that in 3 years you go with 2 degrees, so you are better employable. I'm sure the employers, the industry will come forward to pick you up at much more better packages and openings. So this is what we are trying to do. What we are trying to do is how best we can add value to your education and how best we can provide an ambience of learning. And you have all been experiencing that, and we never say that we have reached the height of the perfection. When he says that he is a fool, we are still learning through our experience. We are working, we are proud of what we have achieved, but we are never complacent. It's a long way to go. We have to improve and build our brand. On an inauguration day like this, I can only say that the job of the university is to build the best of the brains and citizens for the country and who go and run and meet the demands of the society at large. So we are at one end of dressing, and we get crude diamonds here, but we need to trim them and cut them and then make them shine. So they come here with lot of hopes and then lot of willingness to learn, and we are doing our best to dress them well. Of course, you are well dressed, all of you, smarter than me anyway, and cut them, make them shine, and deliver them to the open world. The employers are the society and the business industry, an industry in which you specialize. And this is an event which brings you closer to them, and so that they find out where is the diamond cutting machine and where is the industry. Here is an industry where diamonds are manufactured in large number. You know, black diamonds are more expensive than white diamonds. Are you aware of it? That's why I'm happy that I have all black diamonds here. Okay? So, sir, I congratulate the department, and I thank the representatives of the industry who have come, and I hope you take the message across the country that we are the lead manufacturers of diamonds, and we'll continue to supply them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, I'm pleased to invite Shri Subhash Goyal, President, Indian Association of Tour Operator, ITO, and Chairman of STIC Group of Companies, the guest of honor of Akanksha 2012, to address the gathering.
Can you hear me? Well, friends, Excellency, Dr. Tareen, the Vice Chancellor, the creator of diamonds, Professor Ramdass, the Dean, Shri J.A.K, man I admire ever since he was Joint Secretary in the Civil Aviation, Dr. Yamini, and of course, the one and only Dr. Venkata Rao, and the other professors, and my friends, students. Well, you have a very interactive session later on, and I'll just give you an overall picture of what the tourism industry is all about and what are the opportunities in this industry. And I would not like to, discuss, go into more technical details, and if the Honorable Vice Chancellor allows, I'll take 2 or 3 questions from the students, because I have a flight at 4 o'clock and I have to leave. So I'll not be there at the interactive session. Well, friends, global economy is going to be dominated by 3 T's. The first T is technology. It can be information technology, biotechnology, nanotechnology. It is technology. And technology is going to evaluate or evolve into telecommunications. So the future tool will not be your laptop, will not be your iPad, but will be your iPhone or something equivalent. And the third most important thing for this country is travel and tourism. You'll ask why? Why is travel and tourism important? Can anyone tell me? Can any of the students tell me? Why? Come along. Why is travel and tourism important for this country? Can anyone tell me what is the greatest need of this country?
Employment.
Huh? Employment. Very good. Exports and imports. Anything else?
Economic growth.
Connectivity.
Skilled workers.
Skill development. What else? Leisure entertainment. Yeah, that's right. What's your name? Huh? Yeah, good. You see, we have, although our economy has grown, we had 350 million people when we got independence. Today we have more than 1.2 or 1.3 billion people, and our economy is growing very fast. We have the largest number of millionaires and billionaires in rupee terms in the world, but yet we have over 300 million people who are below poverty line. And the greatest need of this country is to eradicate that poverty. All of you are very fortunate who can afford to pay the fee, who have been selected. You are the selected few from, I believe, a very competitive entrance exam. And what a wonderful campus you have. And then you have a campus within campus created by the great man. The Silver Jubilee campus. I'm really proud of you. Just a few more Indians, sir, can make this country the country of our dreams. A country which will be free from poverty, free from exploitation, and free from corruption. Friends, you are in an industry that can eradicate poverty. Now, how can this industry eradicate poverty? The only way we can eradicate poverty is not by a magic wand, because in all our 5-year plans, we have millions of crores spent on Rozgar Yojana, Janta Rozgar, Jwar Yojana, So Rozgar, but still poverty is where it is. The only way to eradicate poverty in this country is to create jobs. How can you create more jobs? Earlier, the agriculture sector was the largest employment generator. But today, with the mechanization of agriculture, what has happened is that there are no jobs left in the villages. The farm size remains the same, the family size grows, and brothers fight with brothers, and they come to the cities. When they come to the cities, there is no housing for them. So it results in slums. So tourism is one industry, particularly rural tourism, and I believe the Vice Chancellor has done a lot of work in rural women upliftment. So in rural tourism, you see, you can create jobs in the rural areas. So the youth does not have to run to the cities for jobs. If you're from the Northeast, you are in one of the most beautiful areas. You can create an entrepreneur, you can be an entrepreneur and create something there and then market it so that people from not all over the country but all over the world come to see your place. So friends, in tourism, how do you create jobs? Now, when Mr. Patnaik was Joint Secretary, I was fighting for an open sky. And last 20 years I've been fighting for an open sky. Hundreds of articles I wrote in various newspapers, hundreds of television interviews. And at one time, the then commercial director of Air India said that, no, you are not a nationalist because you are speaking against. I said, no, I'm not against Air India. Air India is very important. It is our national carrier. But India is more important than Air India. To safeguard the interest of Air India, we cannot allow, so we open the skies. And today you see Delhi Airport, Mumbai Airport, Bangalore Airport, Hyderabad Airport. If we did not have an open sky, if we didn't have more airlines coming into the country, then who would invest in the airport? Who would invest in hotels? How does tourism generate employment? Because when an airline comes, and you cannot have tourism without aviation and connectivity. So when an airline comes, you see, they need a hotel for the crew to stay, for the guests they bring to stay. And then hotels come up. When hotels come up, then what happens? You need bellboys at the airport, you need some people for immigration, for customs, for health check, then you need porters, and then when the tourist goes to the hotel, he needs someone to welcome them, you need a guide to escort them, and then what you need is someone at the reception to greet them. That's also an art. Then you need someone to wash the clothes, so the washerman gets the job. You need an electrician, you need an air conditioning man, you need carpets, you need someone to whitewash. So tourism industry has a multiplier effect on the economy. In fact, tourism is the driver of economy. So all of you who have chosen tourism are the chosen few, because you are going to be an instrument for economic change in this country. You are going to bring a revolution, and you are going to be one of the people who's going to eradicate poverty from this country. In our own humble way, we have to do it, and we have to do it in the years to come. Time is running out. The whole world is racing against us, and we have to run faster. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, this education that you are getting is only the beginning of the things. Don't think that by getting an MBA, you're going to instantly get a job. It's going to get tougher day by day. Today, people are coming from all over the world to work in India. You go to Bangalore, if you go to Hyderabad, if you go to any of the IT cities, you'll find people from all over the planet coming to this country. So you have to compete. I'm happy that you have a lot of foreign languages. And I will advise my friends that you must learn at least 1 or 2 foreign languages. Because Indians are always thinking of India, "Ke bhai paisa ban gaya, theek hai, fine." No, we have to think globally. We have to think as the whole world as a market. Don't just think of India. And when our tourism ministry and they talk about figures, we have 18% growth, we have 14% growth, it's nothing. Because when I first became president of the Indian tour operators 20 years back, I called the then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao to inaugurate. And that time, our world share in tourism was 0.4%. Today it is 0.5%. After 20 years and crores of rupees of the taxpayer going, you see, we still do not have 1% of the world tourism growth. So, even though we are the greatest show on planet Earth, I have visited more than 120 countries, and I have not seen any other country which is the birthplace of 4 great religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism. Islam originated in the Middle East, but when it touched the shores of India, the spiritual side of Islam came to light, which is Sufism. So we have the best Sufi saints, whether it's Ajmer Sharif, Nizamuddin Auliya, Alauddin Chishti. So Sufi saints who have given light to the world. And just next door, St. Thomas's Church in Chennai, one of the 12 disciples of Jesus. So why can't we market all this? Saudi Arabia, after oil, makes the maximum money for Hajj. They have marketed Hajj. They have sent their missionaries in various mosques all over the world and spreading the message that if you come for Hajj, then you are a true Muslim. So why can't we tell all the Hindus that if you come for pilgrimage, you are a true Hindu? Or all the Sikhs, that if you come and visit the Golden Temple, then only you are a true Sikh. You see, so we have, so much opportunity. We are the only country which has such wonderful Himalayan mountains, the most, holy rivers, and the only colorful desert in the world. So, we have, what we need is marketing. So, most important thing is, in your MBA program, you should learn sales and marketing. If your marketing is good, then your selling is automatic. And more important than that, and more important than your MBA degree, is your willpower and your determination. You must be confident of yourself. You must be confident of your product, and you must be proud of your country. If you are not proud of your country, if you're not proud of the institution which has taught you, if you're not proud of your parents, and if you're not convinced that they are the best, I'm sorry, you cannot convince others. Whether it is a product, and the product you're marketing is your country. So know more about your country and be confident. Have muscles of iron and nerves of steel. What Swami Vivekananda said. If you are honest and truthful, no power on earth can shake you. So, airlines at crossroads and alternative tourism. You see, why do they say airlines are at crossroads? It's our own making. You see, I've been fighting, I'm a member of some of the committees in the Planning Commission, and I've been fighting on this, that about 6 years back, sir, we had only 5 million people traveling by air within the country. Today we have 60 million people traveling by air within the country. No other country in the world this revolution has taken place. But we are making it very difficult. If I am an international airline, if I fly from Delhi or Chennai to Colombo and then go to Trichy or Mumbai, I don't pay tax on the aviation turbine fuel. But if any of my national carriers wants to travel, wants to go from point 1 to point B, then I have to pay 25% or 30% or 18% tax on aviation turbine fuel. And in the DOC, which is the direct operating cost of the airline, about 25 to 30% is the aviation fuel. So we are making it difficult for our airlines to survive. We don't have a civil aviation policy. Since Patnaik's time, we have a draft civil aviation policy. So we are all dependent on the whims and fancies of the politician. If he wants, he'll give you the permission. If he doesn't want, he won't give you. So this has to stop. We have to bring 100% transparency. So one, this defect that the ATF, we are killing our own aviation industry. Second thing is our pampered pilots. When Air India went on strike, I sent an SMS to a very great man, Dr. Zadi, who was also in ICAO, good friend of mine, that, sir, you should cancel the license of these pilots. If you dismiss them, then other airlines will take them, foreign airlines will take them. Today, most of the airlines in Southeast Asia, are, Indian pilots are flying them. So because, you see, it is a crime to leave people stranded. People are going for cancer treatment, people are going to see dying relatives, children are going to attend their father's funerals. So aviation is an essential industry, and it has to be treated like that. And if we don't do it, and thirdly, Air India should be left with the professional management. They should be answerable, to professional managers, and managers should be appointed that yes, you have to show results, but will not interfere in your. You see, if you don't give a manager a free hand, you must have learned in your MBA, you cannot delegate just responsibility. With responsibility, you have to delegate authority. Because if you don't delegate authority with responsibility, then delegation doesn't work. So, this is why our aviation industry is at crossroads. Now you have a subject on alternative tourism. Alternative tourism is huge advantage, huge opportunity. Because, right now we are only having this Delhi, Agra, Jaipur circuit, or now Kerala started the massages, the Ayurveda, and that was alternative tourism for Kerala. But the foreigners are not interested in just going in 5-star hotels. Every state, we have like 30 states, and every state has its USP, its unique character, its unique culture, its unique cuisine, its unique, and the people in the world are interested in seeing this. So wherever you are from, don't run to Delhi, Chennai, Bombay. Find out what is the unique selling point of your city or the state where you are and try to market it. Before I close, I'll just say the last word because of these young friends, that don't be just job seekers, be job creators, be entrepreneurs. I'll give you the story, I don't know if you've heard it, take it, just wait please, just wait for my sorry. There's a story of a boy who was working in a church, and he was very hardworking and he used to, light the candles and everything. He had only one ambition in life. He wanted to be the chief priest. So finally, the chief priest retired, and the entire congregation recommended his name, and he was very confident that he will become the chief priest. So this team came from Rome, and they interviewed everyone. And when they interviewed this young man, they said, "Oh, sorry, we need an MBA." He was not an MBA. So he didn't get this job. So he was very disheartened and very dejected. So he was sitting on the stairs of the church. He didn't know what to do. 1 second, please. So he was sitting on the stairs of this church and he didn't know what to do. Then suddenly an idea came to his mind that so many ladies will come on Sunday and they have to run back to their house. So they don't have time to buy eggs, buy bread and this. So he opened a small kiosk and became very popular. Then he opened in the next church. And finally, he became a multi-billionaire because he had so many. So when they interview you in America, CNN, "Hello, Mr. Smith, without being educated, look what you've done. Just imagine if you had done MBA, what would you do?" He said, "I would be the chief priest in one church." So this MBA is not enough. Whenever you get an idea, think of it and try to cash on it. Get together, 2-3 friends. This is how the internet was born. This is how Twitter was born. This is how Facebook was born. So you have that spark in you. Ignite that spark and go out from Pondicherry. You're from all over India and bring prosperity to wherever you are. God bless you. I'm so impressed with this whole, campus and this campus within a campus and this great man sitting here, that my company, Stick Travel Group, I started my company with 1,000 rupees borrowed for a friend. Today we do a turnover of about 600 crores and we represent some of the world's best products. We represent some of the best products like Walt Disney World, United Airlines, Continental Airlines, Sri Lankan Airlines, Ethiopian Airlines. And I was also offered a job. But my then professor in FMS, Professor Das Gupta, was no more. He said, "Subhash, you have been president of Delhi University Students' Union. I want you to be a job creator, not a job seeker, because you have leadership qualities." So I started this company, Student Travel. And today, we are the #1 wholesale travel company in India. There is no travel agent who doesn't buy from us. Whether it is Thomas Cook or Cox & Kings or Yatra or Make My Trip, American Express, anyone. We are the largest wholesale travel company in India. So I want you to be innovative. Think of something and create. So my coming here and giving my time, you see, if I give you 1 million rupees, I know I can get back 2 million. But if I give you a day or 1 hour of my time, I can't get it back because my life is limited. But apart from time, I want to give back to the society. And I decided that I'll give a fellowship to one of the needy students up to 50,000 rupees during this 2-year term, up to a maximum of 50,000 rupees. So thank you.
Just I take one minute time. So after showing the entire campus, so the sir was so delighted the entire progress and development, and I showed the Department of Tourism Studies. Then I requested him, sir, could you just sponsor some fellowship for the Department of Tourism Studies? Immediately, sir accepted and now announced it. So that we will take it forward, sir. Thank you so much.
The annual publication of Department of Tourism Studies, the Yatra magazine, is an indication of the creative talents of the Department of Tourism Studies and a reflection of Akanksha 2012. Jennifer, Monica Matthews, Deepak Kumar, Victor Prem. I request Professor J.A.K.
The president of this pleasant occasion, Professor J.A.K. Tareen, the most respected Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry Central University, Shri Subhash Goyal, Mr. V. Shri Ram, Dr. Y. Venkata Rao, Shri Anuchandran, Shri Breshnava Muttu, other heads of departments of the School of Management, members of the faculty, student friends, ladies and gentlemen. I am really delighted to be here today, not only to participate in this significant phenomenon, and also to felicitate this occasion. I should felicitate at the outset the Department of Tourism Studies for all the outstanding work that it is doing, and it is bringing credit not only to the tourism department but also to the entire School of Management and to Pondicherry University. And this Akanksha is one of the very useful events, bringing the industry people like Subhash Goyal. He has been able to inspire you by his own experience and also by giving good advice. I thought that he is only an organizer of tourism, but to our great surprise, I could note that he is more an economist than a tourist operator, because he has beautifully connected tourism and its impact on poverty alleviation. Normally, economists speak of the role of tourism in economic development in terms of its contribution to GDP, its contribution to employment, its contribution to the service sector. Perhaps no economist among ourselves thought that we can also penetrate into the area of poverty alleviation through tourism sector. And he says that in rural areas and the people affected by poverty can also become managers, can also become really useful manpower in the field of tourism. And he has indicated enormous opportunities that are available in the tourism field for anyone to take up. And when I heard his speech, I was only reminded of Shri Prahalada, the management guru, who in his magnum opus, the bottom of the pyramid, gives a new model of poverty alleviation and prosperous economies everywhere. He discusses how economic policies of the government have failed to deliver the people from the clutches of poverty. And he says only through managerial skills, developing the managerial skills in the bottom of the pyramid of the people who are affected by poverty-stricken nature, you can eradicate poverty, and it is through voluntary effort it can be done. I think what Prahalada said is today entirely reflected by what Mr. Subhash Goyal has said, and therefore I should also felicitate him for this thought-provoking and inspiring address that he has made today. And I should also be grateful, along with Dr. Venkata Rao, for giving a fellowship of rupees 5,000 to the Department of 50,000 to. So you are also aware of what I'm paying. 1,000. And I hope that his presence would give you enough of confidence and hope. And tourism industry today, as you said, is growing. Although the international traffic movement has increased only by 0.1%, but the internal traffic, the traffic in the tourism within the country is diversifying in different areas like cultural tourism, medical tourism, village tourism, and so on and so forth, throwing up a lot of opportunities for all of you. And this Akanksha should be able to bring the people. And I should also compliment the tourism department for achieving 100% placement this year. And this 100% placement, what is noteworthy is that this 100% placement has been achieved within 3 weeks. 3 weeks when we had the vacation. Dr. Venkata Rao and his colleagues were able to bring as many companies as possible. And they have brought many companies, and most significant among these companies is, for the first time, a public sector organization had visited Pondicherry University, and it has employed about 17 to 18 students. Indian Railway Catering Tourism Organization has come for the first time and recruited. And this has been our cherished goal for a long time. We are producing MBAs who are catering to the needs of the private sector. But the public sector also needs the managerial skills produced by central universities like Pondicherry University. We are not here. Central University, funded by public money, is not supposed to create a managerial power, talents, only to subserve the needs of the private sector. Public sector also occupies a dominant position in the sphere of economic development, and that also needs dexterities and skills in the managerial areas. Perhaps if institutions like NLC had been manned by managers like you with the managerial skills, it would have come out of the red before a long time. And therefore, a time has come when the public sector organizations also should be assisted by the MBA graduates of Pondicherry University, because Pondicherry University today has created a brand at the all India level, thanks to the initiatives taken by Dr. J.A.K, Professor J.A.K. Tareen, for his tireless efforts. You should all give a big ovation to Professor J.A.K. Tareen, who has been instrumental for establishing the Department of Tourism, and also for extending all the facilities required to make this department visible. And we are going to add 111 more programs. And we are going to have programs like a dual degree, as he said, integrated PhD program, evening programs, and whatnot. You will get everything that you want in the sphere of higher education in the Pondicherry University, Pondicherry Central University, thanks to his initiative. Therefore, I take this opportunity to felicitate him also, and I felicitate all of you and on this occasion, and I hope that you have a very bright future under the guidance of all your faculty members. As the Dean of School of Management, I will strive to do everything that is required for you to place you in very high positions. All the second students in the 4th semester have already been placed. So you should be able to work very happily and then get very high marks and high scores in the 4th semester examination. And all those who are in the first year will also be helped like this. If not better than you, they will also be placed 100% within 3 weeks of next December. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Shri V. Sriram, Regional Director, Indian Railways Catering and Tourism Corporation, IRCTC, Chennai, to deliver the keynote address.
Professor J.A.K. Tareen, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University, distinguished dignitaries on the dais, distinguished invitees, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, I deem it a privilege to have been invited over to deliver the keynote address in this I to the power of 2 interface event of the School of Management, Department of Tourism at the university. The theme subject being interaction between industry and institute, that's between academia and the industry, is something of a parallel I draw between what is science and technology. To define science in just 2 words means know why. To define technology in yet another 2 words means know how. Matching it with what is called the service sector, where tourism is the industry in that sector. The domain knowledge resident in the university, in academia, is what is called know why, where exploration happens to fertilize the young minds to understand the service industry. And when such students, which are but like carbon, are shown, are brushed, and they turn into diamonds, then they get into the service sector in the wide world. And there know-how happens of what the know-why they have learned at school. Obviously, this endeavor can only happen if there are 2 participants in this process, involving the industry on the one hand and the academia on the other. To take you across with few observations on the structure of tourism industry in India, I'll quickly summarize the aspect that tourism as an industry has been a very old industry in any country for that matter. However, such an industry has been rather unstructured from the days Mr. Goyal entered the market, or even earlier. And there is a need for structuring this industry over a period of time, which has now started happening. There have been training institutes of the IITMs and university departments and special institutes in the private and public sector. There have been national organizations in the industry, namely the Cox and Kings, Thomas Cook, ITTC, and so forth. There have been large buyers of products, but too few sellers. There have been too few institutes, but they need to serve too large a modicum of customers, too large number of customers, both within domestic sector as well as the inbound sector. The pattern of tourism also is something which is rather informal, or was rather informal, rather ill-organized, if not disorganized, individual-centric, with much less of group travel, and not institutionalized as it need to be. Over the last 3 decades, with the developments in travel, in communication, both physical as well as non-physical, the organization of the tourism industry has happened. Therefore, there is a tremendous need now to institutionalize this movement of the mass market within the country, namely domestic tourism, through road and rail, which is an important aspect to improve physical connectivity. With physical connectivity comes infrastructure, which has been the point of address of the Ministry of Tourism and other state government tourism organizations, as also by the private sector. Hence, infrastructure should move hand in hand with organizing tourism in a manner that is more institutionalized, more structured, and more directed towards manufacture of products, intangible products, which are basically enveloped into physical products as tourism is implemented or as tourism flourishes in the country, within the country, and outside.